Hello, here I am speaking about emotional intelligence. Have you heard about emotional intelligence? Well, it's one of the amazing things that we can do today and focus on. EIQ, have you heard of it? We have heard of many different things such as IQ, EQ, and EIQ is really emotional intelligence. It is using your emotions to help you out, achieve what you need to achieve, and understand others in a better way, but most of all, understand yourself in a better way. And basically it's the skills of understanding, of perceiving, and using your emotions and others' emotions for the benefit of your work, your own understanding about yourself, and your understanding of other people. There is many things that are being said nowadays about emotional intelligence, and one of them is actually that it is a bit of a different step related to IQ. Nowadays is actually being spoken about SIQ, which means social intelligence. It is something that makes sense because nowadays we are much more social beings than any other time on the planet. Not only because we achieved this amazing amount of people in the whole world, so there is much more people that we can communicate to, but there is social media. And of course, social media has brought us to a time in space that we actually can interact with each other from across the globe. There is communication that you can do to people from China, to people from Japan, America, Australia, New Zealand, to South America. The world is on the tip of our hands, and we can just basically create communication to anyone in the world. So we are much more social in that sense. If you want to use emotional intelligence, there is a few tips that I would like to give you in order for you to actually create this sense of emotional intelligence in the most conscious way possible. And one of them is about self-management. I spoke a lot about different things such as time management, such as procrastination, such as motivation, and self-management is something that is a bit encompassing of all those things. We need to be consistent. We need to be focused. We need to self-motivate ourselves. We need to be able to tackle procrastination. All these things have to do with self-manifestation, have to do with self-regulation, and they all come from within. And they come from the understanding that it's possible to do this in a practical way. And so self-regulation and self-management is basically being able to check your emotions, check the emotional state that you are feeling in that moment, and be able to overcome any sort of negative emotions or emotions that keep you unconscious of what is happening in the present moment inside yourself. And this also has to do with, like I said, being consistent. So it's not just falling into the wrong emotions, if you can put it in that way. It's not falling into the negative emotions that you get trapped in and create suffering and create pain around you and around the people that you work with, but it's about being self-aware of what emotions are actually guiding you. I work with a spiritual teacher, someone from India, a mystic from India, and he was saying that there is basically 3 stages in order to deal with any emotion, and all of them have to do with self-awareness. He says that, for instance, the first stage of any kind of emotional intelligence, the first trait that you can have in terms of emotional intelligence is the fact that many times we go into an emotion without even being aware of it. Imagine, let's put it in a clear example, with anger. Many times we get angry, we express anger, and we don't even notice. Not even afterwards. Many people say, "Oh, did you notice that you were angry?" "Oh, I didn't notice. Was I angry? I didn't notice." So you get into the emotion, you express the emotion, and you are not even aware of it. That's like the first stage of any emotion. The second stage is a bit more conscious, which is you go into the emotion, but you are able to stop yourself, you get aware of what's happening, and you are able to change that emotion. So for instance, with anger, you get angry, but you are able to remove yourself from that anger by being aware when you are into the anger. And the third stage, they say, that is basically knowing that the emotion is coming. So for instance, anger is coming, but you don't put yourself in that emotion. You are able to remove yourself from the emotion before you get into the emotion. Think about it, it's really interesting. The other thing that I would like to say is that one of the things that really helps with emotional intelligence is to be able to be self-motivational, meaning the capacity of self-motivation. That's very important because then you are able to be really clear about where your emotions are and be able to focus on the best way to tackle the emotional, especially the emotional negative states. And just to finish, I would like to tell you that it is really important that you are able to be aware, first of all, of your emotions, so that you are aware of other people's emotions, which brings clarity to your own emotions, but it brings compassion, kindness, and a better communication with other people. Self-awareness is really the best tool that you can use in order to be aware of your emotions and be able to deal with other people's emotions. So this trait about having the capacity of dealing with your own negative emotions is very, very important, because then you are able to change them. You are able to change the energy inside of yourself from a negative energy to a positive energy. I hope this helped you to understand a little bit more about emotional intelligence. I am actually going to become certified emotional intelligence coach, and I would love to help you out dealing with your emotions, or a better understanding of your emotions, but other people's emotions that you might be facing and not able to understand them. Thank you very much. It's getting a bit dark, and from this part of the world, I wish you a great day. Remember also to share, to like, subscribe to my channel, and enjoy the day. Bye bye.